My name is Danny Nowlan and I'm the Director of ChassisSim Technologies. What I'd like to talk to you about in this latest presentation is ChassisSim Professional Online. Now, this is something that I've spoken about a couple of times before, and if you go to the ChassisSim website, you'll see a whole section dedicated to the online simulation. Now, what is it? Well, let me talk about, before I talk about what is it, let's talk about where ChassisSim Professional Online fits into the scheme of things. In particular, let me start by asking you a few questions. Are you a race engineer on a small budget? Do you want a tool that's going to do the following? Prepare for a race event before you get there. It can reverse engineer track and tire properties. It has the ability to export data so you compare to actual data. And do you have an internet connection? If you want to use the tools that are used by the simulation tools that are used by professionals, then ChassisSim Professional Online is the tool for you. So as we can see here, we've got speed, throttle, front dampers, rear dampers, steered angle, lateral G, longitudinal G, front and rear roll. So the great thing about ChassisSim Professional Online is it is probably the best way you've got of getting going with ChassisSim, because it gets you going for a fraction of the price. And I'm just going to actually outline some exciting news on that in just a moment. But again, in terms of the ChassisSim environment, this is the ChassisSim environment that you all know and love. So you can either click on your components of the car, or you work through that tree structure to go through and navigate your way from the ChassisSim through the ChassisSim environment to do your simulation analysis, so you can be on top form before the race weekend starts. But this is the real meat that I want to get to: pricing points. Now, the thing about ChassisSim Online, I really want to sort of make this point about ChassisSim Online. ChassisSim Online, to some extent, is a bit of a misnomer, because ChassisSim Online, for all intents and purposes, is identical to the standalone versions of ChassisSim. The only difference between ChassisSim Online and its standalone counterparts is that with ChassisSim Online, our internet server is the dongle. That's it. It's the only difference. In terms of the actual running of ChassisSim, what you do with it, it's totally local to your computer, so we don't have a clue what you're doing. So consequently, all the sensitive setup information, all the sensitive data that you have, it stays entirely with you. We don't need to know. More importantly, we don't want to know, unless of course it's for a really good result. But I'm just being a little bit glib there. However, but that sort of really brings me to the point of really where these pricing points are. For starters, if you want to get going with ChassisSim Online, you can do it for $5 a sim. So we've got a race. We've got a couple of packs for that. We've got a pack of 25 sims you can buy, or a pack of 50 sims you can buy, and these are priced in Australian dollars. Now, here's the kicker of really what I want to get to in this presentation. We've just launched a new initiative, and that if you're using ChassisSim Professional Online and you spend $500 a month with us, that gives you unlimited sims for that month. So you can either buy it through the existing online simulation portal, or we can invoice you for it. Either way, it's completely up to you. However, that $500 a month will give you unlimited sims for that month. So that is something that's because the thing about it is, the reason we're offering that is, I realize that for some of you, you're thinking, yeah, $5 a sim for a single sim, that's not too bad. But you're thinking, oh, hang on, by the time I really get into this, I could really burn through a lot of this. Well, for that $500 a sim, cap for unlimited sims for that month, that pretty much takes that problem away. Now, just a reminder, Professional Online gives you ChassisSim Standard with the Tire Force Modeling Toolbox and the Bump Profile Modeling Toolbox. For those of you who need a bit more, you want to use the Shaker Rig tool, if you want to use the aero modeling, and if you want to use the aero modeling tools or the optimization tools, then we've got a special offer for ChassisSim Elite Online, and that will be for $1,500 a month, unlimited sims. Again, where the time starts is when you spend that $1,500, and it carries on for that month. Where that sort of dials into is, if you do need if you do need those higher end tools, but you don't have a license, well, you don't have the funds for a ChassisSim for a full ChassisSim Elite license. However, you can use that to get yourself back. You can use yourself to get back up to speed, or alternatively, convince management that this is a good way of going. Now, one thing I do want to say as a caveat to this. The $500 unlimited SIM offer and the $1,500 unlimited SIM offer for Elite Online is limited just for a single email. So I just really want to make that point. So for those of you who are using the standalone version of ChassisSim, you can't say, well, hang on, Danny, you're giving everyone else a really good deal. What about this? So just to really clarify that point, it will just be for a single email. So effectively you're effectively renting a dongle a month. So that's effectively what it's doing. Now, in terms of support, your first line of defense will be the ChassisSim YouTube channel. So really, I'd encourage you to really check that channel out. It's been a really great resource. But again, just to get back to the pricing points, I realize that for a lot of races right now, money is tight, and not to recognize that, look, we'd be completely and utterly, we would be thinking that denial was a river in Egypt. However, the great thing about the $500 unlimited SIM offer for Professional Online and the $1,500 offer for unlimited use per month for Elite Online is it's a fantastic way of getting going at a really price-effective point. And ultimately, for those of you who are freelance engineers, when you get to your bigger teams, obviously then you can start thinking about the full versions of ChassisSim Elite. But don't take my word for it. Get going with ChassisSim Professional. Start by going to the ChassisSim website. Go to the online simulation tab and get going for yourself, and work through the ChassisSim tutorial and find out just what a powerful tool ChassisSim Professional Online can be, but more importantly, what a price-effective tool it can be. And we look forward to catching you in either the next ChassisSim video tutorial or the next episode of Dan's Vehicle Dynamics Corner.